Oh, praise. Give me the book of Sirach, chapter 13 and verse number 21. Sirach 13 and 21. And let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse number 14. And Yakanan, give me the book of Daniel chapter 4 and verse number 35. Say, brother, we out here asking $1 million question. You got a minute?
Not right now.
All right, brother. Can we get you a flyer?
Flyer, brother?
Come get a flyer. Say, family, with the polo on, with the navy blue polo, walking across the street, looking both ways. Okay, come. All right. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shem Mashiach Malak Yahushua. We do the same thing every single weekend. Right. This is nothing new. You know, brothers bring out the same precepts. Brothers bring out the same breakdowns. Brothers do this every single weekend to proclaim the name of Yahweh through His only begotten Son Yahweh Shai, to bring back the sheep to the marriage. You feel me? To proclaim liberty and justice to the captives, and to, of course, you know, spread awareness of the downfall of BTG, Babylon the Great. Right. I want you to bring out this verse real quick. Sirach chapter 13 and verse number 22. Start at 21. Let's select. Say, he gave you the flyer. You know what it's on? Alright, real quick. I'm gonna break it down for you real quick. I know you got this going. You feel me? Flip the flyer real quick. You see the QR code. Scan the QR code on your phone. You feel me? It's gonna take you to a YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. Now when you do that, it's gonna put you on with a whole bunch of information regarding who you are in the sight of God. Do y'all believe in God? Y'all believe in the Bible as well? Okay, cool. So according to God, according to the Bible, y'all are Israelites. Can I hear you say that? Israelites, she said it. Israelites. And the Israelites, that's God's chosen people. Right? Does that make sense so far? So just tap into the information. It could be something that, you know, you've never heard before. Or maybe you have. You feel me? And you can tap in, learn some more, you feel me, and so on and so forth. But y'all be safe. All right, for sure. All right, bring out this precept, okay?
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 13 and verse number 21.
Bring it up.
A rich man.
Hey, what?
A rich man.
That's exactly what the Bible was going into as well. You feel me? You have the rich men. You feel me? That be out here. They on the podcast, on the television screens. They're doing all the talking. And they have all the power. Real quick, give me Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse number 4. Right? Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 4.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 4. You know? For to him that is joined.
Salakia, jump down to verse number. Say, family. Say, family. With the Pittsburgh. I got a question for you. $1 million question. What's your race? Y'all can answer this question too. What's our race? Can somebody tell me? What sayest thou? You don't know. No.
Say it again.
I was saying, what's our race as a people? What would you say? What do they classify us as? They call us African American, right? Is this your lady? Okay. Would you say the same as well, sister? They classify us as African American. Now, I don't want to, go on a run bunch and spill, too much history, but I do want to put y'all on game real quick in regards to the terminology of African and American, and those two things being put together to classify a certain people. Now, Africa, that comes from a man named Leo Scipio Africanus. He was a man that conquered the land of Africa. America, it comes from another man, Amerigo Vespucci. These are two white men. And here we are in 2022, October, what's today's date? October 29th, 646, October 2022, classifying and calling ourselves after the names of two white men. Why is that? Why is it that we're the only people on earth that cannot get on a plane and go to our own homeland? Why is it that we're the only people on earth calling ourselves after the names of two so-called white men? Sure, matter of fact, why is it that I call myself black, which is the color of my boots? Why is that, brother? You ever ask yourself these type of questions? All the time? What about you, sister? You as well? Sometimes. Now, do y'all believe in God? Do y'all believe in the Bible as well? Now, according to God, He created 18 nations. When we talk about nations, we're talking about different groups of people that have different homelands, different customs, etc. God, He created 18 different ones, and He has one chosen one. Do you know what that chosen nation is? Israel. Okay, she on point. So you know about that too. How does God feel about Israel since they're chosen? He loves them. That's right. You agree, King? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put a Bible verse with what it is that your lady just said, because she's on point. You feel me? Bring this up.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people.
What the Lord say?
For thou art an holy people.
Y'all know what it means to be holy? It means to be different, right? To put it in today's language, lingo, etc., it means to be different. You holy, you set apart. You stand out like a sore thumb. You feel me? Whenever you walk, whenever you talk, whenever you dress, whenever you sing, whenever you cook, whenever you clean, whenever you do any of these things, guess who is out here watching you? Your every single step. Trying to be just like you, brother. Trying to be just like you, sister. These other nations. Because y'all are the ones that set the trends. You feel me? We're the trendsetters in the earth today. Does that make sense? We're the ones that we're literally the top of our class in everything that we touch. Music. What type of music y'all listen to? You like sports, brother? What type of sports you be watching? Basketball, football. Who are the top players in these sports? They look just like me and you. You feel me? What about musicians? I know the sister be listening to Beyonce from time to time, right? Or we can take it back, Mary J. Blige. You feel me? Can somebody else? What's the one sister that I wrote? Go Pill. I don't know if I'm saying her name right. She got that one song called Closer. Closer to my dreams. Y'all know that song? Yeah. Hey, her. Erykah Badu. Yeah, Erykah Badu. Yeah,
Hey, boy, take my time. Aretha Franklin.
Oh, Aretha Franklin. You feel me? Nonetheless, hey, we just going off the top. We naming all our people. You feel me? That's at the top of their class with their music, man. So this is literally us at the top of everything that we do, because we're God's chosen people, as the sister said. We're holy. Keep reading on this. There's more.
For thou art holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people.
When something is special to you, how do you treat it? If them Air Max, them is Air Max, correct? Yeah, them Air Max, they special to you. You gonna go run in the mud with them with the all white Air Max on? Is that what you gonna do? Nah, you watch how you walking though. For real. You feel me? You see a gum, you don't step on that. You feel me? But hey, the same shoes that you use to cut the yard in, you don't treat those shoes like you treat those. You feel me? Those are special to you. It's the same thing with God's people, the Israelites. He said that we are special to him. Keep reading.
Unto himself.
Above all people. Now we below.
Above all people.
Now we average.
Above all people.
What does it mean when you are above, brother? What does that mean? You on top, brother. That's in the Holy Bible. That's what we just read. Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse number 6. And God is speaking about who? He talking about us, and who are we? The chosen. Say it again. And what does this chosen people go by? The Israelites, brother. So what I need you to do, I need you to start reading this Bible. I need you to see yourself in this book, brother. Because from Genesis to Revelation, it's not. This is not a book of fairy tales.
Right.
This is not a book where you have made up stories, etc., etc. This is literally your history.
That's right.
But they will never tell you that. You don't know about your kings, according to the Bible. Have you read about King David? Have you read about King Solomon? Have you read about Josiah? You feel me? Have you read about any of your kings within the scriptures? These righteous men that led your people in righteousness? You feel me? All of that history is found within this book. And guess what? We're going to find out what one of your kings look like. Bring this up.
It's the book of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5.
Get up.
This is Solomon speaking. I am black.
What did Solomon say?
I am black.
What did the king of Israel say?
I am black.
He said, I am black. That's in the Bible, brother. Read it one more time. Read it a little bit slow.
Book of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 5. I am black, but comely. But what? But comely.
Do you know what it means to be comely?
When it get dark,
It means beautiful.
okay, you gotta light it.
right? Handsome. What people on the earth today say they black and beautiful? Oh, wait.
I don't want to do no extras. I have my hands full.
What people?
You got the whole setup, man.
You say who? So-called black people. But who are we really?
Yeah, I got to tell them now. I got
According to the Bible. The Israelites, brother. Exactly. So as the Israelites, we have to see ourselves in this book, King. You feel me? Because you can read this book, unless you're able to see yourself, it's never going to make sense with you. It's never going to resonate in your spirit. But when you actually read these stories and you say, damn, that individual, I know through the spirit, he looked just like me. Then it's going to start making a lot more sense to you. Does that make sense? Well, praise. Now, this is how we are able to classify who the Israelites are today. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. Right? This is how we're able to classify the Israelites walking the earth. Now, I could be telling you, and all this may sound good. You're going to say, well, prove it. You feel me? And that's exactly what we come out here to do. We come out here to prove our stance on the Bible, going precept upon precept, from Genesis to Revelation. Right? This is how we prove who the Israelites are today. Right? I need y'all to follow me. Read this.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Now, God said that he's going to bring the Israelites back into Egypt. Now, what were the Israelites doing in ancient Egypt? You say what? We were slaves. Do you agree with that? Do you know about that? Because we can visit it in the scriptures if you would like me to. No, okay, cool. Right? So we were slaves according to the Bible in ancient Egypt. You feel me? You ever heard of Moses? He said, let my people go. And you had the 10 plagues that came upon Egypt. You had the firstborn being killed. You feel me? You had the sea being turned to blood. You had the frogs. You had all these things happen because God was trying to get the Israelites free from the Egyptians. God was trying to free us from slavery. So God is saying, as a punishment for your disobedience, I'm going to bring you back into Egypt. Because what were we doing in Egypt? We were slaves, right? So he said, I'm going to bring you back into Egypt, meaning back into what? Back into slavery. Exactly. We're going to go back into slavery because we're being disobedient. Now, we're going to read about this particular slave captivity and how we got there, right? And I want y'all to tell me who this happened to on the earth today, right? Read this from the top.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Into slavery again, read.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Now, who went into slavery with ships in history? We do. But who are we really? You saying black people, but I don't, that kind of sounds foreign to me. We the Israelites, brother. So God said, I'm going to bring the Israelites back into slavery on ships. And we know that happened to us. So by default, we are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Does that make sense? That makes sense? Okay, cool. Read on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Right.
And there you should be sold unto your enemies.
What the Lord say?
And there you should be sold unto your enemies.
So the Lord said, and once you got off those slave ships, you was going to be sold to your enemies. Who was you sold to once you got off the slave ships, brother? You said what? Caucasian, man. And you don't got to whisper that. Hey, we said it, and we know what it is. They know what it is. You feel me? They'll put you, you ask them, they'll put you back into slavery with no hesitation. You feel me? God said that he was going to sell you to your enemies once you got off those slave ships. We got sold to the so-called white man. Read on.
For buying men.
For what?
For buying men.
For slave men.
And buying women.
And slave women.
And no man shall buy it.
And nobody was going to save you from that captivity. As you can see, brother, October chapter 29. October 29th at 6:57 on a Saturday, we are still speaking our oppressor's language. We are still going to our enemies for clothing, for food. We're still paying rent. We still paying taxes. We still getting shot down and subjugated within the streets of Atlanta, within the streets of Detroit, within the streets of Ohio. You feel me? We getting subjugated all over the world. We still being what's the word? Discriminated against. You feel me? All that is still happening to us, King. You feel me? So this is the book that is talking about your people, which is who? I want you to say it in the mic. You gotta say it in the mic, King. The Israelites, brother. The Israelites. Right? Does that make sense? All praise to the Most High. Now, y'all gotta go. Say it again, sis. To the underground. Okay, can I get 2 more Bible verses for y'all? And now I'll let y'all be. Right? Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13. And let me get Leviticus chapter 11 and verse 7. Let me get Ecclesiastes first.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13.
God said that we was going to go back into slavery as a punishment. It's because we were disobedient in keeping God's commandments. You feel me? So the only way that we can reverse the curses or get out of punishment with the Most High God is by being obedient. The same way you would if you had children. You feel me? Or, you growing up yourself. You feel me? You may have certain incentives that your parents give you, you feel me, to get good grades. If you get good grades, I might get you that game. You feel me? I might take you to go play basketball. I might let you go to the movies. You feel me? But you got to do what it is that they require of you. It's the same thing with the Most High God and His chosen people. You feel me? If you want to be blessed on this earth, it's not by you going and clapping and stomping in the church. You feel me? It's not by you posting on Facebook saying that you're the holiest of holy. It's not about none of that. It's going to be about you keeping God's commandments and keeping the faith of Christ. Does that make sense? All praises. Read this one more time, King.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
It's the conclusion. Read.
Fear God and keep His commandments.
And do what?
And keep His commandments.
And what?
And keep His commandments.
So you have to fear God and do what else, brother? Keep His commandments. Exactly. Exactly, King. Right, so I'm going to give y'all one commandment that I'm going to let y'all go about y'all business. That's cool? Now, disclaimer. There's over 600 commandments. It's not just 10. Right? Yeah, it's a lot of commandments. But don't be afraid. Y'all are keeping the commandments. Some commandments just standing here at this moment. You got a beard on your face. That's a commandment of God. You can't cut your beard. Right? You got to let that beard stay there, man. You a lion. Hey, you can't look like a lioness. You feel me? You got to have that mane on you. You feel me? You got to. Right? Now, this is a commandment that God requires of us, and this is a dietary law. Meaning this law pertains to the foods that you allow to come into your body. Right? Read this.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse number 7.
Read up.
And the swine.
And the what?
And the swine.
You know what swine is, King? It's unclean. Exactly. That pork, that pig, that bacon, that ham, that sausage. You gotta put them things down. Read.
Though he divided the hoof and is cloven footed, and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. But he is unclean to you.
Keep reading.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
What the Lord say?
Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
So you cannot eat pork. Does that make sense? No pork. Is that something that y'all can do? Cut out the pork for God? Y'all don't eat pork. Okay, cool. Do y'all eat seafood? What type of seafood y'all like? Salmon. What else? Shrimp. See that? So you said no catfish, no shrimp, but she locked in on the shrimp. Okay, gotcha. You're gonna find out about the seafood, right? Read this. Verse 9.
Verse number 9. These shall you eat of that are in the waters.
Right, so these shall you eat of all that are in the waters. Read on.
Whatsoever have fins and scales.
Have what?
Have fins and scales.
So whatsoever has fins and what else? Fins and scales. Read.
In the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
What the Lord say?
Them shall ye eat.
So you can only eat seafood which has what two things? Fins and scales. So salmon is good. Catfish is not. You feel me? White meat is good for you to eat. Shrimp is not. It doesn't have what two things? Exactly. It don't got scales. I'm not even sure if shrimp has fins. Does shrimp have fins? I don't even think so. Right? So yeah, you really can't eat it. Right? Yeah, it got the whiskers. Yeah. You feel me? So that's a commandment of God. But I know I said 2 Bible verses. I'm gonna give you one more. Give me Revelations 1 and verse 3. Right? This is my encouragement to y'all. This is what I exhort y'all to do. Right here. Revelation chapter 1 and verse 3.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 3.
Look it up.
Blessed.
Hey brother, come listen. I need you to listen to this verse real quick. I'm gonna ask you a question about it. Read.
Blessed is he that readeth.
What the Lord say?
Blessed is he that readeth.
Blessed is he that scrolls on Instagram.
Blessed is he that readeth.
So if you want to be blessed, you have to continue to read. And what is it that we're encouraging you to read? We encourage you to get back in this Bible.
That's right.
Because you've been taught lies surrounding this Bible. But it's your job to look past the lies, be a diligent king, search out the matter, and read this book, seeing yourself in it as a what? As a king, but what's your nationality?
Say it again.
An Israelite, brother. You're an Israelite. You gotta always remember that. Don't let it go, king. Right? Don't let it go. Knowledge of self. That's something that's powerful. And that's something that we as a people struggle with. Right? That's why we have so many what they call identity crisis. You feel me? Because we're not able to recognize who it is that we see in the mirror. But if you come back to God, if you continue to read, if you keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, if you keep the faith of His only begotten Son, guess what? Then you'll have knowledge of self, and you'll have knowledge of the power above. So that way, you'll be able to conduct yourself as a king on this earth, lead your household in righteousness. Your woman will be able to do the same exact thing, and y'all will be a light that is set upon a hill for the world to see. Does that make sense? All praise to the Most High. I'm gonna have a brother over here give y'all a flyer. I'm gonna give y'all a flyer myself. My apologies. Right? I'm gonna give y'all 2. We get one for you, king, and one for your lady. Right? Y'all tap into that. Never forget that information. Never forget it. Right? Now, brother, I told you I was gonna ask you a question. Right? And y'all be safe. Y'all be safe.
I gotta head out.
That's cool. Now, the Lord said that you're something if you read. What are you if you read? Let's read it one more time.
Blessed is he that readeth.
The Lord said, blessed are you if you read. You feel me? So now it's high time for you to start reading the Bible more and more, king. Because if you start reading this Bible, you'll come to find out that you're an Israelite in the sight of God. You're a king walking this earth. You have to repent and keep the law, statutes, and commandments. And the faith of His only begotten Son. Does that make sense? And it's a very long, hard process. Right? But the Lord said, give me 1 John chapter 5 and verse 3. Then I'm going to let you go about your business. 1 John chapter 5 and verse number 3.
First John chapter 5 and verse number 3.
Look it up.
For this is the love of God.
What the Lord say?
For this is the love of God.
Read.
That we keep His commandments.
That we keep His commandments. If you say you love God, brother, which I'm sure you would say you do, you got to keep His commandments.
Right.
But you can't keep something that you haven't read. You can't keep something that you don't understand. You feel me? So I encourage you, brother, to continue to read or to start reading so that you, by the love of God, can keep His commandments. What else did the Lord say about that?
And His commandments are not grievous.
And His commandments are not grievous. Grievous means it's burdensome. It's hard. You feel me? Keeping the commandments of God is not burdensome, king. All right, I always want you to remember that. Tap into that flyer if you can. You know, be safe out here. And what you got to keep, brother?
His commandments.
His commandments. Exactly.
Commandments.
Brother. Y'all be safe.
Yes, sir.
Right? He wasn't trying to argue. He got one. He got one. Give him another one though. 2 are better than 1. Come. All praise to the Most High. All praises to the Lord. All praises. All praises. Right? We got some more sheep coming down. Say, brother, with the camera. Come holla at us. Say, family. I got a question, family. I got a question for you.
I'm in a hurry, bro.
So I can't ask the question? Okay. Well, there you have it. Right. I got a question for you. What's your race?
I don't go by race, I go by relationship.
Relationship. Okay, so what relationship do you have with your people in regards to race?
Waking them up.
I say regards to race and nationality.
African American.
Okay, African American. Let's get down to business. Right, African American. Now, are you from Atlanta? Where are you from?
Florida.
You from Florida. Can I go to a major airport in Florida? get on the airplane and say, can you take me to the land of African America?
No, you can't. But see, this is why I say this to them.
Yeah.
Because
who is them first?
my people.
Okay, gotcha.
Because if someone's not on the same level of knowledge I'm on, then why speak to them where they don't understand?
Right.
I'd rather bring them, go to the place where they at, and then bring them where I'm at.
Exactly. Now, what I'm trying to get our people to understand while we're out here is that the terminology of African and American, these are newly created terms to classify us as a people, right? That's why we shouldn't be calling ourselves these things. I know you say you don't go by race. Good job. I'm proud. Well, you feel me? I'm happy that you're not classifying yourself as such things, right? But what you have to understand is God, He created 18 nations, right? Oh, if you can, King, you want to come look at this sign right here? You don't got to look at this sign, right? These are the table of nations. These are the 18 nations that God created according to the Bible. Do you believe in the Bible? Let me ask you that. You believe in the Bible? That means you believe in God as well. Okay, so as you can see, there are 18 different nations, and you have one nation at the top. Right? I want you to see if you can pronounce that for me. Israel, right? Now Israel, he was a man. Give me the book of Amos chapter 3 and verse number 1. Give me Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. Give me the book of John chapter 1 and verse 47. And someone else give me the book of Judges chapter 20 and verse number 13. Right? You get Amos.
It's the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
O children of who?
O children of Israel.
Again, we just said that Israel, he's a man. And these are the words that God is speaking to the children of the man named Israel. These children are known as Israelites. Can I hear you say Israelites? Israelites. Right? Let's see what God said about the Israelites. Read on.
Against the whole family which are brought up from the land of Egypt, saying.
Now he said something very specific. He said against the whole family. So the Israelites, we are a family, brother. When you look at this brother right here, when you look at this elder right here, when you look at me, when you look at this brother walking on the street, we are all family, brother. Right? That's what we have to understand. I'm not your enemy. I'm not your op. I'm your brother. Does that make sense? Keep reading.
Of the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known.
What the Lord said?
You only have I known.
Read it one more time.
You only have I known.
So God said, out of all the families on the earth, you only have I known. You're the only people, you're the only family that I have known upon the face of the earth. He's talking about who again, brother? The Israelites, exactly. Now, how are we able to determine who the Israelites are walking the earth today? You say skin tone? Okay, the brother says skin tone.
Obedience, those who walk in
obedience. Okay, now this is the indicator or the signs that we go to show you who the Israelites are walking the earth today. Because we all know how a family works. You know, two people, they have children. Those children, they end up having children, so on and so forth. So the Israelites of the Bible, they're still walking the earth to this day, brother. They're still, exactly like the elder says, generations. You have generations of families, generations of men, right? So we're going to find out how it is that we classify the Israelites within today's generation, right? Deuteronomy 28 and verse number 15. Y'all can drop everything y'all had. Deuteronomy 28 and verse number 15. Hey, brother, I got a question for you, right? We sitting here putting this brother on real quick. I want to show you this out of the Bible. You believe in God? Okay, cool. Right, we got this brother behind you. Right, dap this brother up. This your brother right here. Right? All praise to the Most High. Right? I'll dap you up as well. What's your name, family? Scoop? I like that. Alright, the brother Scoop in the building. Con! All praise to the Most High. Right? We got the brother Scoop in the building. Deuteronomy 28 and verse number 15.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
Look it up.
But it shall come to pass.
Now, this is Moses speaking. Have you ever heard of Moses? You ever heard of Moses, my brother? Like, this is Moses speaking to the Israelites. What is Moses known for? You said the commandments. What else? Parting the Red Sea. Why did he part the Red Sea? Woo, to get the slaves across. And who are the people that were enslaved? Do you know? The Jews, the Israelites. The Israelites. Right? So right now we're trying to figure out, well, how are we able to determine who the Israelites are today? Right? That's the question that's on the table. Right? So this is Moses speaking to the Israelites. Right? Brother, you with me? What's your name too, brother? I didn't get your name. The brother James and the brother Scoop. All praise to the Most High. Right? Read on.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
So Moses is telling the Israelites that if y'all don't listen, y'all want to be hard-headed, and y'all don't want to keep the commandments, this is what's going to happen. Read.
That all these curses,
All these what?
all these curses.
Now, is a curse a good thing or a bad thing? What would you say? It's a bad thing. Right? The brother James, do you agree? Right? It's a bad thing. He said that all these curses, read,
shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
so he said you're going to be cursed because of your disobedience. Right? You got a question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Now, everybody, this is my opinion.
Right?
Everybody out here of our nationality knows
Which is
God.
what? Which is what?
Israelites.
Israelites. Okay, just got to clarify.
They know who God is,
Okay.
but they don't want to serve God. So, now it's a good thing that you're bringing the message to the people.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the message really needs to go to those who are in power. Because we as the ones who live the Gentile way, I used to live that way, and I know that we know who God is now that I've come out of there. Now I'm more focused on the people who keep the Gentiles oppressed, suppressed, and depressed. And it's these officers, that these people who sit in high power, like, excuse my language, but I like to call them house niggas. They wear these badges and they got on these clothes, and God said they will be wolf in sheep clothing, but nobody's speaking to them. Now I speak to them, and I've been locked up numerous times for speaking this message. I speak to my brothers who are here, but 9 times out of 10 they know God better than me. The ones who don't really know God or who take him as a joke is the ones standing in uniform and in a position of power.
Now I want to make a point to that, right? So you say, now brother Scoop, let me get you a flyer, King. All right, let me get you a flyer. You an Israelite according to the Bible, right? God's chosen. Right? Now you made a beautiful point. The only point that I would disagree on is trying to go save or trying to preach this message to the higher ups. We're not worried about the higher ups. Right. We understand the Most High God is in control of all things. Right. We understand that the Most High God, he's speaking to the poor of this earth. Right? This brother right here, he just went into that. You feel me? So I'm not concerned about the quote-unquote house Negro that is comfortable within this house. Right? Real quick, hold that. Give me Revelation chapter 18 and verse 4. God commanded us to do something, King. Right? And I'm concerned about the mission at hand. Okay, come. Right? Bring this piece up here. Right? Let me answer the first question, then I can answer the second one. Right? Read this.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
What the Lord say?
Come out of her, my people.
So God is commanding the Israelites to come out of her. It's not a physical come out of her, but a spiritual, a mental come out of her. Right? And what we're trying to do is get brothers like yourself, sisters, you feel me, to come out of the ways of this nation, keeping the holidays. We're not supposed to be on that type of time. We're not supposed to be eating the same delicacies as them. We're not supposed to be, rocking the same apparel. You feel me? To some degree, of course. You feel me? We're not supposed to be doing those things. We just got to come out of her spiritually. Right now, what's the other precepts I called? John 6 and 63.
John 6 and verse 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth.
What the Lord say?
It is the spirit that quickeneth.
So it's going to be the spirit of the Lord that quickens whomever it touches. And I want you to understand, King, that everything is predestined. The Most High God has already chosen select individuals walking the earth today that are going to serve him and that are not going to serve him. It's already predestined. So our attempt right now is to allow the word to stand as a witness against you to see whether you're going to follow the word and be obedient, or if you happen to be a vessel set up for destruction and you're going to be disobedient and not follow the word. Does that make sense? What I should have said? Right now I got one more precept that I'm going to let you ask your second question. James 2 and 5.
This is the book of James, chapter 2 and verse number 5. Hearken, my beloved brethren, have not God chosen the poor of this world?
What the Lord say?
Have not God chosen the poor of this world?
So the Lord said, has not God chosen the poor of this world? We went to the book of James to talk to the brother James, man. You feel me? And that's what James said. He said, have not God chosen the poor of this world? So we not worried about the higher ups. We're not worried about bro that's up there in this building right here with a nice escalator that's going down with the twinkling lights. We're not worried about him.
Okay,
you
now-
feel me? We worried about brothers like you.
But-
You
but,
feel me?
see, and I
Let me
appreciate-
read out the rest of this verse. Then I got you. Right? Read this.
Rich in faith,
Rich in what?
rich in faith,
Rich in wealth.
rich in faith,
Rich in materialistic things.
rich in faith,
We're looking for the poor of this world that are rich in faith. Read.
and heirs of the kingdom,
And heirs of the kingdom. Read.
select, which he hath promised to them that love him.
That love him, brother. Right? So we're not concerned about the higher ups. Yeah, they have quote unquote power to dictate certain things, but what we got to understand is this is the straight and narrow path. Not a lot of people are going to be following this path to begin with, because that's how God set it up. Many are called, but few are chosen. Exactly, brother. So it's not our job to go and try to convince them people. We trying to get the remnant. You feel me? That's what we out here for.
I'm a vessel of God, and my thing is, God said, blessed is the poor who walks in his integrity, than he who speaks with perverse lips. Now, I'm poor, but I'm rich in spirit.
Indeed.
I don't seek material, lust of the flesh, lust of the eye. I don't seek these things. Now, those who are poor are sitting in high places because they have not the Spirit of God. They chose possessions over people.
Indeed.
Those what I call people that are possessed by possessions. And God say, my people perish for a lack of knowledge.
That's
So,
right.
If I'm studying to show myself approved,
As you should.
if my private praise is better than my public praise,
You better talk
then
about it.
why not bring the message to those? Because God said that to me they are the Tower of Babylon and they are getting ready to fall. But God says the warning comes before destruction. Now, if we look back in the days, the disciples was persecuted. So what makes the disciples in this day different from the last day? God
Exactly,
says,
brother.
I show no
Now-
favoritism to no man.
Hey, now it's beautiful that you're bringing this up. The elder just touched on this today. Give me Acts chapter 16. Right, Acts chapter 16. How you doing, sister? Can I hand you this real quick? Okay, for sure. Right, bring that. Acts chapter 16 and verse number 20.
Book of Acts chapter 16 verse number 20. And brought them to the magistrates, saying, these men being Jews,
Being what? Read.
do exceedingly trouble our city.
So the higher ups, the magistrates, you feel me? The judges, the rulers, they're going to be mad at us for what it is that we're doing right now. We're not trying to convince them. You feel me? We're trying to get our people down here that don't have the same type of power or voice, quote unquote, that they may have. Y'all can come through, family. It's okay. I ain't got to go in the street. But I do want to hand you this, brother. Right? Can you flip that? Look at the QR code. You scan that. Right? It's going to put you on some info. Right? Right? So our whole job, brother, is we want you to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. Right? We're going to cut to the chase. That's what it's all about. We want you keeping the laws of God. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Now, how many laws of God do you know?
I know a lot of them, but it's more than 10.
There is more than 10.
600 and something.
Exactly, brother. Now I'm gonna put you on game real quick. I want you to tell me if you know this. Give me the book of Exodus chapter 35 and verse number 1. Give me the book of Numbers chapter 15 and verse number 38. All right, let's teach some commandments. That's what we are here for.
Chapter 35, Exodus chapter 35 and verse 1.
Yeah.
And Moses gathered all the congregation of the children of Israel together and say unto them, these are the words which the Lord has commanded that ye should do them. 6 days shall work be done.
The Lord say,
6 days shall work be done.
So God says 6 days shall work be done. Read.
But on the 7th day,
On the 7th day. What's the 7th day of the week? It's the Saturday. That's right. Read on.
there shall be to you an holy day.
Hey, what?
A holy day.
Read.
A Sabbath of rest.
Hey, what?
A Sabbath of rest.
Read on.
To the Lord.
Read.
Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death.
Shall live.
Shall be put to death.
So you got to keep the Sabbath day holy, King. That's one of the quote-unquote 10 commandments. You feel me? You got to keep the Sabbath day holy. Does that make sense? Now, how do we keep the Sabbath day holy? Read verse number 3.
Verse number 3. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitation, so I can upon the Sabbath day.
Right, so don't kindle no fire within your habitation, right, on the Sabbath day. You're not supposed to buy or sell on the Sabbath day. You're not supposed to be out here hustling on the Sabbath day. You're supposed to be relaxing, chilling, obtaining rest. Does that make sense, King? The same way, I'm sure that you're familiar, that God rested from his works. He ceased from creating. You have to do the same. Does that make sense? That's a commandment of God that I now want you to start enforcing within your life, if it be the will of the Most High. I'm going to give you another one. Numbers chapter 15 and 38.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 15 and verse 38.
Look it up.
Speak unto the children of Israel,
Here we go. We're speaking to the Israelites again. Read on.
and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
You look at all these brothers in the borders of their garments, by and large, you feel me? You see fringes. You see these right here. This is a commandment of God that you must keep as in what?
I'm glad you brought that up.
As an Israelite. Right? Now, Christ himself. Did you know that Christ wore fringes?
Yeah,
You knew that?
yeah. It showed
On his garment. Exactly. Now, would you say you're a follower of Christ?
yeah.
Now, as a follower of Christ, whatever Christ do, I'm sure you will want to do too, right?
But see, there's a thing that God says, clean the inside, man, before you put on the outside.
But that's true, brother.
My inside clean before I start dressing like anything.
That's true, brother. And guess what? All of us had to clean our insides out before we started wearing on what's on the outside. So what we want you to do is reform your mind, clean your mind, renew your mind, so that you can adapt and start to put these on as well. Because it's a mental thing, right? The Lord said that a man shall be known by his look. You feel me? So if I look at you, I will be able to determine if you're a man of understanding if you have fringes on, right? Because you understand that this is a commandment of God, and not only that, you have enough fear within inside of you of the Most High God to keep this commandment. That lets me know that your mind is different. You feel me? So it goes hand in hand. Does that make sense? All praise to the Most High. Bring this up.
The book of John, chapter 15 and verse 3.
Read up.
Now ye are clean through the words which are spoken unto you.
So you're only going to be clean through the words, brother. And guess what? Some of these words, you feel me, is commanding you to wear these fringes.
That's right.
There's a reason for it, right? Let's go back to the law. Numbers 15 and 38. Numbers 15 and 38.
Numbers 15 and 38. Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations. And that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord.
And remember what?
And remember all the commandments of the Lord.
So when you look upon these fringes, brother, you're going to remember all the commandments of God. That's why it's important for your insides to be cleaned out and for you to be keeping these fringes on the outside, because you're actually remembering. There's a remembrance, something that happens on the outside or the inside. Happens on the inside with your mind. So what you said about your mind being cleansed, it has to be cleansed in order for you to wear these fringes and remember all the commandments of God. Because these are the things that God wants you to do by Shema Mashiach Yahushua, by Christ. Right? I got one more precept, John 14 and 15.
And I got one more question.
All right, that's a bit. All praise to the Lord. We love questions. We love those. Right? John 14 and 15.
It's the book of John, chapter 14 and verse 15. If ye love me,
If ye love me. You say you love Christ? Hey, that's okay. Well. There you have it. Right? The Lord said if though. Right? So you said you know. The Lord said if. Read on.
keep my commandments.
Do what? Keep my commandments. So if you love him, which you say you know you love him, that means you got to be doing what? You see how simple that is? Now what's your question, King?
Okay. Now just let me finish. God said, these signs shall follow those who believe. They shall cast out demons. They shall take up serpents. They shall speak with new tongues. And if they drink anything deadly, it shall not harm them. They shall lay hands on the sick and they will recover. Do any of you guys walk in that manifestation of God?
Let's
Because he says
Luke
now,
chapter 10.
the kingdom of God is more than word, but demonstration.
This is true. Right, give me Luke chapter 10. I believe that's verse number 16.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 10, verse 16.
Look it up.
Now,
He that heareth you, heareth me.
Luke chapter 10 and verse 19.
Right,
17.
17. And the
version?
Nah, you need a Spanish version?
And the 70 returned again with joy, saying, Lord, even the devil are subject unto us through thy name.
You see that? So the devils, they're subject unto the prophets, unto the servants of the Most High God. Read on.
And he say unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents
To tread upon serpents. Now the serpents, that's all symbolic. Read on.
and scorpions,
And scorpions.
and over all the power of the enemy.
Of all the power of the enemy. The Lord has given that power unto his chosen men that are keeping the law, statutes, and commandments in the faith of Christ himself. You feel me? And if you have those two things, then you have power to tread upon these serpents, which are the spirits, right? These spirits, these demons, etc. Right? Remember, Israel is a name, and it means in the Hebrew, Prince of God, right? So you have, you got power with the Most High God, right? Does that make sense?
it's not answering my question.
And your question was, do we walk in the sense of having that power over serpents? Yes, sir, we do. Yes, sir, we got faith that we do. We got faith. I wanted to put a Bible verse with it though, right? And the Lord, he also said, greater work shall you do than these. You feel me? So, you know, damn, that's real spiritual. It's 441 on the back of this right here. Yeah, that's hard. All praise. You got a precept for you. You can break it down. All right, go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 15.
Look it up.
That which have been is now, and that which is and that which is to be have already been, and God required that which is past.
So God requires the same type of miracles and the same things that were being done in times past. Guess what? The Lord is putting the same spirit upon men today to go forth and create and to perform the same type of miracles, right? You have some things that may not be more so on a physical level as they were, where you see a man touch a man, you feel me, and his legs start working again, and he stands up and rises up and takes his bed. But you see, no, the greater works, what the Lord meant by that when he was talking about it was the multitude of those things. You see now a lot more people being healed from their sicknesses, healed from their possessions, or being possessed on a spiritual level. That's what that's talking about.
But then that leaves out miracles.
The miracle is you waking up to the truth, brother. That's the miracle.
Okay, now. Okay.
The miracle is you for. Give me 1 second.
Oh, no, wait.
Hold on, brother. The miracle is you forsaking the ways of Babylon the Great, the most wicked nation on the earth, and you coming back to the Most High God. That's the miracle,
I
King.
would call that grace. I would say the miracle, if Jesus raised the dead, that's a miracle. If he's the same God yesterday, today, and tomorrow, that means he's raising the dead today. So,
These things are happening.
that's a miracle. If the dead live again in this time, that's a miracle to me. Grace to me is waking up to the truth. Now you've been given a little grace to come to the knowledge of who he is and what he can do.
Okay, well, do you recognize and understand the fact that you have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so that's a miracle in itself, brother. Because a lot of people don't understand that, right? So that's all we touching on. Matter of fact, if you hang around, we may be able to give you something. I think we may. I got one more, right?
So hang around.
Right, yeah, definitely hang around. Yeah, we're gonna see. But let me get the book of Matthew, chapter 11 and verse number 8. And let me get Sirach. Actually, drop Sirach. Actually, give me Matthew 15 and verse 31. Yeah, come.
Matthew chapter 11 and verse 8.
Look it up.
We're going to start 7. Come. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils.
Cast out what?
Cast out devils.
What is walking before us right now?
Cast out devils.
Not even gonna say nothing. I'm gonna just look at you. Right? Cast out devils. Read on.
As you
Hey, are you guys calling me devil?
So what?
Are you guys calling me devil?
The Bible is. You good, you good, you good. You want to find out real quick?
No, man.
You don't want to find out? How you gonna ask a question but don't want to find out?
Yeah, I want to find out.
Okay, thank you. Give me Revelation chapter 12, verse 9.
All devils, right?
Whoa! I don't know about that one.
Jesus is who gives us the grace.
This is the
Hold on. Let's hear out the so-called white man. That was sarcastic, right? What did you say? Jesus.
Jesus
Yeah.
is who gives us connection to make it to heaven.
Okay. Do you think you're going to make it to heaven?
I do.
Okay. Now, what are you going to be doing in the kingdom of heaven?
Whatever God tells me to.
Okay. Do you want to know what God told you that you're going to do in the kingdom?
Bring it up.
I do.
Okay. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 49.
Bring it up.
Isaiah chapter 49.
Somebody. Isaiah 49. This is what God said that you're going to do. Now, we're going to see if you're fully compliant with this.
I will
You said
tell
you saved.
I'll tell you right
What's your
now.
name?
Matthew.
Hey, Matthew, we're going to see if you comply with the words of God. Bring this up.
It's the book of Isaiah chapter 49 verse 23. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers.
So the kings of this world are going to be nursing fathers to the Israelites because y'all are the people that have robbed, pillaged,
What does that
and
mean,
spoiled
Yo.
the Edomites, the so-called white man and the heathens. Everybody outside of the nation of Israel.
Right.
Everybody that's not an Israelite.
Right.
Thy king shall be thy nursing fathers. Read on.
And queen thy nursing mothers.
Right.
They shall bow down to thee.
What the Lord say?
They shall bow down to thee.
That's what God said you're going to be doing. Are you willing to do that? Bow down, yes or no?
Yes.
Go ahead.
We gotta get.
How the hell that happened?
Where you come from? Hey, he already knew that from
Man, please, man. Hey, say, brother. Come here, brother. Come here, I'm right here. I'm talking to you, King. Do-rag, what's good with you? How you doing? What's good, family? You said what? You said, okay, good. God wins. Come. Now, you believe in God, brother? Someone get a brother a flyer. Santa Claus. Here, brother. Brother, you gotta repent, start keeping the commandments of God. Matter of fact, come over here, we're gonna get you a water. Right, can someone get the brother a water, please, Baba Kasha. Right, come on, come follow this brother right here. Take you a flyer, brother. For sure. Man. Alright? But with that, as always, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Malak Yahushai. The water to the brothers that's out here laboring, man, day in and day out. Give me Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. Right, I appreciate all y'all brothers. You said what? Keep rolling? Oh my goodness, he said keep rolling. Alright, brother. He said keep it rolling. Give me Daniel chapter 4 verse 35, man. Right, give me Daniel chapter 4 verse 35. Give me Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. And give me Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. Right, bring out the Bible verses. Now he said keep it rolling. Hold on, brother. You passed by earlier, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so this is my first time seeing?
Yeah.
Oh, that means you gonna hear the Bible today.
Oh man,
Yeah. Nah, brother, come on, brother. All right, let me give you a flyer. Come get a flyer. Yeah. Now, hold on. No. Now, with this flyer, brother, I need you to understand that you're God's chosen people. You are an Israelite according to the Bible. You need to repent and keep the commandments of the Most High God. Does that make sense, King? All praise to the Most High. Now, what I need you to do, if you have a mobile device, please scan this QR code. It's going to take you to a link tree. A link tree that has Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, etc. Tap into one of those links. You're going to be opened up to an entire world of information that's going to put you on about the knowledge and wisdom that we out here trying to spread right now. Does that make sense? Now what I need you to do is fold that. I need to see it go in your pocket right now. Okay. No, you say it's going in the wallet. God! All right, all praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Be safe, my brother. Be safe. All praise to the Lord. All right, Daniel chapter 4 and verse 35.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 4 and number 35. Verse 35. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 4, and number 35.
Look it up.
And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing.
As what?
As nothing.
As what?
As nothing.
The Lord said all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing. So for the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American man, woman, and child that is conducting themselves in haughtiness, in pride, in loftiness, etc., the Lord said that you're nothing. Right? The Lord is also saying, why is earth and ashes proud? I believe in the book of Sirach, the 10th chapter. Right? You have no reason, no ability to be proud, because the Lord, He reputed you as nothing. Read on.
And He doeth according to His will in the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth. And none can stay His hand.
What the Lord say?
And none can stay His hand.
And none can stay the hand of the Most High God. Whatever the Most High God has ordained and set up, that's exactly what's going to happen. The brother Yakanan broke it down beautifully. The brother Abaya broke it down beautifully. Right? Whatever the Most High God has set up and ordained, best believe and be rest assured that it's going to come to pass. Right? Give me that in Isaiah chapter 46, and I believe verse number 5. Right? Let me get that Isaiah chapter 46, Slacky 48 and verse number 5. Yeah, 48 and 5.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 48 and verse 5. I have even from the beginning.
From the what?
From the beginning.
The Lord has already told you what's going to happen to the so-called white man from the beginning. Right? Hey, brother, with the glasses. Right? Now we got a brother right here, though. Say, family. Yeah, I'm talking to you, fam. I got a question for you. $1 million question. You ready? You believe in God?
Yeah, I believe in God.
You believe in the Bible as well?
Yeah.
All right, bet. So what's your race according to the Bible? Black. Okay, cool. Check. Now check this out. You see the color of my boots? See the color of my jeans? What's the color of my boots and my jeans? What's the color of your skin, brother? It's brown. So I'm gonna ask you again. What's your race? Okay. See, now that what we just did, that's an experiment that we like to do. That would never happen with a so-called Chinese man. He's never going to say, this is my nationality, then double back and say, well, no, that's not my nationality, this is. We the only people on the earth that change our nationality between different words. Right now, according to the Bible, God said that our race, our nationality, you with me? Our nationality are Israelites. Can I hear you say Israelite? Israelite. Now the Israelites are God's chosen people. Right? Let's get straight to the point. 1 Corinthians chapter 3. Right? And give me Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 12. And give me the book of Genesis chapter 1 and verse 29. Right? 1 Corinthians 3 and 16.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 16.
All right, let me put you on game real quick. This how God feel. Right? Real quick. Bring this up.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
So God said that the Israelites, they make up the temple of the Lord. Right? You being an Israelite, brother, you are a part of the temple of God. Did you know that? Now you do. You feel me? Read.
And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you?
And the Spirit of the Most High God only dwells within the vessels of His creation, or the vessels of His chosen people, rather. Right? On a very deeper level. Right, so I want you to understand that the Spirit of God is within you because you're a what? An Israelite. Let me hear you say it again. You're an Israelite. Now, as an Israelite, God requires certain things of you, brother. You can't just be a regular nigga out here. You feel me? You got to be moving a certain type of way. You being God's chosen, you being the king on the earth. Oh, praise to the Lord. You being the king on the earth, the Lord not just going to allow you to be walking around as a peasant. You feel me? As a king has to have wisdom. A king has to have discernment. A king has to have discipline. Right? A king has to have, you got to be feared. You feel me? He has to have a good name, etc. So these are the type of things that God requires of the Israelites. Read on.
Verse 17. If any man defile the temple of God,
if you defile your temple, read.
him shall God destroy.
Him shall what?
Him shall God destroy.
You want to be destroyed? You want to get put to death? Your mama crying, siblings, aunties, uncles. You don't want that, do you? I don't want that. You feel me? But the Lord, He will send a cruel messenger and put you down if you continue to be disobedient. If you continue to defile your temple, brother. Right? We need you to refrain from defiling your temple. Does that make sense, King? Now, what are the many ways that you could defile your temple? Give me an example. Nah, what are different ways that you can defile your temple? And your temple is your body, by the way, right? So how can you make your body in worse condition?
A lot of ways. Not going to the doctor. That's what they are.
Okay, not staying on top of your health, right? Give me another one.
That's all I can think of. Really.
All right, so what was you just doing that's not good for your lungs?
Oh yeah,
Smoking. Now I heard the smack of the teeth. Feel me? The head nod, the body language. So you be trying, and that's okay. Now we can work with that. We can work with you trying, right? Because I want you to understand, King, that a lot of brothers out here used to deal with that. You feel me? But it's gonna be through you coming back to the Most High God and you being healed up from those things. You having some discipline that you'll be able to put that away, King. Right? Because we're not supposed to defile our temples. Right? The first thing, you got to start fearing the Most High God. You feel me? Give me Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. All right? Give me the book of Sirach, chapter 21. I believe verse number 11.
Nope.
All right? Read.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13.
Yeah.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God. Do what? Fear God.
Do what?
Fear God.
You got to fear God. You got to understand that the Most High God, the creator of all things, through His only begotten Son, He will put you down. Straight up. A lot of brothers out here, even with the knowledge that we have, we need to fear the Lord more. You feel me? We got to fear the Most High God. The same way growing up, did you have your father in your life? Okay, well, a lot of times your father, he's the one that's supposed to be the disciplinary in the household. He's supposed to be putting the belt to you. You feel me? Getting you right whenever you do something that you're not supposed to do. You feel me? The Most High God, you have to fear Him as the disciplinary. Does that make sense? Because the Lord, whenever you see people get shot up, whenever you see people get locked up, whenever you see these things happen, that's called judgment. Right? That's what that's called. Give me Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse number 5. I'm going to tell you something about judgment, brother. Right? I had to be judged in order for me to get my mind right. The Lord had to jam me up for me to get my act together. You feel me? I don't want you to get jammed up, but the Lord, He got His own way of working things. Read this.
Zephaniah,
Chapter 3 and verse 5.
chapter 3 and verse 5. The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning do He bring His judgment to light.
What the Lord said?
Every morning though He bring His judgment to light.
Said every single morning He brings His judgment to light. Every single morning. And you may not make it to the morning, brother. So I want you to understand that you got to actually get the fear of the Lord and start praying for that so that you can put away these things that you're dealing with. Right? Sure, you wanted to get some knowledge too? All praise to the Most High. Now we talking to your mans right here about smoking. Do you smoke as well? Now how you deal with smoking? Because my man's right here, he said that he trying to stop.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, bro. PTSD shot the shot at shit like that.
So you dealing with some traumatic events that happen in your life, and these are your coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Give me Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse number 12.
Bring it out.
We're gonna find something out about the coping mechanisms, because at the end of the day, brother, what you're gonna come to realize is all those are called temporary fixes, right? They're all temporary. It's only gonna make you feel good for so long, you feel me? And then you're gonna need it again. You dig what I'm saying? Does that make sense? And give me the book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse number 14. Right? Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 12.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse number 12. Seek not death in the era of your life.
What the Lord say?
Seek not death in the era of your life. right.
So you cannot seek death in the era of your life, right? Some things in your life, it may have went left, brother. You feel me? You may have been down bad. You say you've been shot at. So, hey, you may have been shot at, brother. You went through that. You felt that fear. You felt them type of memories on your mind that you still may wake up with every day. You feel me? The Lord said, hey, seek not death even in the era of your life. You cannot continue to put further pain and further destruction upon yourself because of events that happened in the past, brother. And it sounds a lot easier said than done. You feel me? But you gotta actually separate the past from this present moment and what it is that you're using to heal from those things that happened in the past. Does that make sense, King?
This should make you go fast, so once you get shot at, bro, you gotta move quick when you get someone else go shoot you, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
And I've been having guns put on me 8 times already, down in the PA, down in Alaska, down in whatever. And over here, I get it like twice down here. But it's because I just like fighting, you feel me? I'm Italian, Dominican, and I'm Lebanese.
What's your father?
Dominican.
Your father's Dominican,
So
right?
I got the Italian side from the mom and shit.
Okay. Okay.
But put it like that, it just, it might be the Italian, I don't know what it is, but it's something that always want me to fight.
I feel you.
And when you win a lot, then they start shooting at you, man. Them white folks not fighting like that. So
Well,
beat that ass. That's when
Give me Proverbs chapter 2 and verse 12. Give me Proverbs chapter 2 and verse 12. Because I'm gonna show you something, brother. You could be a warrior in the sight of God.
Right.
Right? Hey, that could be the spirit. The Lord said, give me Psalms chapter 144 and verse 1, man. Give me Psalms 144 and 1. The Lord, he may put that spirit upon you. Right? But the Lord said, well, the Lord doesn't say this. This is a proverb of man, a wise saying of man. With great power comes what, brother? Great responsibility. So just because you have the ability to whoop their ass, that don't mean that you should just be turning up on them just because. You got to use discernment, brother. Bring this out real quick.
Psalms 144 and verse 1. Blessed be the Lord, my strength, which teacheth me my hands to war.
Teacheth my hands to war. So the Lord, he may teach your hands to war, brother. That could be what it is. You could be a warrior, a valiant man. But guess what, brother? You got to have discernment. You have to have discretion, right? Go back to that Proverbs. Give me Proverbs chapter 2 and verse 12. All right, Proverbs chapter 2 and verse number 12.
It's the book of Proverbs chapter 2 and verse 12. To deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaks.
Proverbs chapter 2 and verse number 11.
Proverbs 2 and 11. Discretion shall preserve.
What the Lord say?
Discretion shall preserve.
Right, can a brother pull up the definition of discretion? Baba Shah in the blue letter. Discretion shall preserve thee. You know what it means to be preserved, brother? To keep it in its natural estate. You feel me? You want to be kept alive. You know what I'm saying? You want to be preserved from death. You want to be preserved from jail. You want to be kept just as you are right now. You able to pick your bag up, walk up and down the streets of Atlanta. You want to be preserved, brother. But the Lord said there's something specific that's going to preserve you. And that's called discretion, right? This is the definition of the word discretion.
Discretion means purpose, devices.
Right.
Intents, inventions.
Right there, a plan. A plan. So you have to be planning things out of your mind. You feel me? You got to be thinking to yourself, is this wise to do right now? And a lot of times, hey, fighting, that's not something that's wise to do in that current moment, brother. Right? You have to have control over your spirit. You feel me? You got to have discipline. You understand?
I say sometimes you don't have a choice, and I would say just because it's like, I got a good heart, you feel me? And I think one of y'all got the same thing, right?
Yeah, well, most I wasn't, yeah.
So, man, we started with it, and they took it from us, something like that. When it comes down to this shit, I know the game ins and out, and I know how we kept at the bottom for a reason. Once we get that top level, there's no such thing as what? You can't take melanin for what it is, you feel me? You mix white with black, you gonna get black. You mix white with, you get what I'm saying? Point being, what I'm talking about, white folks envious. So I'm talking about that's when it started became. When the white folks shoot at you, when you whooping, that's how you know they all on your ass. So I had to keep moving. And y'all don't know my story, but it come out to be like this, bro. Them white folks don't want me alive, just like anybody else. But they put targets on the people that's actually winning, you feel me? That's winning, bro. If you winning out here, they gonna drop your vibration. You feel me? And they get deep like that. But I like how y'all do this.
Let me ask you a question. Why do you think that is?
Because like I said, bro, once you reach our spot, They already feel guilty to the past. Once the start spot, they
Yeah, I clicked on the no.
I want you to understand this. According to the Bible, brother, these are our enemies from the beginning. We've been fighting with them since the womb, brother. Since this is all facts, brother. Right? So give me Romans chapter 12 and verse 18. Give me Romans chapter 12 and verse 18. Right? Check me out, brother. Check me out. Right? Because look, everybody up here, we feel the same type of way that you feel towards our enemies as well. We don't love them, man. We want them to get put in the dirt too. Hey, we had one of our forefathers, he said that, hey, we're going to beat them to dust. You know how small a dust particle is? You feel me? That means we getting them gone. And that's going to happen one day. You feel me? But you got to understand, again, having discretion, understanding that the odds are stacked against you, brother. You got to be moving with some wisdom. Romans chapter 12 and verse 18.
The book of Romans chapter 12 and verse 18.
Look it up.
If it be possible, as much as lieth in you.
He said, if it be possible. You listening? If it be possible, as much as it lieth within you, read.
Live peaceably.
Live what?
Live peaceably.
You got to live peaceably. You got to live in peace, brother. You got to seek peace within this lifetime. Because you understand who is out here that is trying to take your peace away. You feel me? Read on.
With all men.
With what?
With all men.
So you have to live peaceably with all men to the best of your ability. Everybody is not going to want to see you obtain peace or even retain your peace. Right? Let me get y'all this verse real quick.
Revelation chapter 12 and verse 11.
Look it up.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
By the what?
By the blood of the Lamb.
And we hope to overcome our enemies by the blood of the Lamb. Right? We hope to overcome all these heathen, man. We're not dealing with them. You feel me? We're going to overcome them by our Lord and Savior. He's the King of Kings. Read.
And by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their life.
And they what?
And they loved not their life.
Read it one more time.
And they loved not their life.
And they loved not their lives. You feel me? Does that make sense, brother? Did you hear me?
Yeah.
It says they love not their lives, brother. We doing this for a greater purpose right now. You feel me? Even at the expense of the things that we may like. And it is what it is. Read on.
Unto death.
Unto what?
Unto death.
So yeah, to hell with it. They listen and they gonna hear it regardless. If it's not from me, I know it's from my brother. And if it's not from him, I know it's from him. You feel me? This word gonna go out regardless. And hey, depending on the vessel that's being used, hey, the word's still gonna go out. You feel me? So I want you to understand, brother, hey, stop putting so much focus on them. That's you giving your power away, man. You need to start looking in the mirror, focusing on how you can get better as an individual, as an Israelite from the tribe of Simeon. You feel me? That's what I want you to get down with, man. And you being an Israelite from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
More than likely. You feel me? So I want y'all to, think about that, man, because it's not enough time in the day for you to be giving all your attention and all your thoughts to the so-called white man. I'm not thinking about Esau when I wake up in the morning, man. I'm not thinking about him. I'm not thinking about, I'm not thinking about that, bro. Straight up. I'm praying to the Most High God. You feel me? I'm trying to get myself right. Shit, I got shit that I gotta fast about. You feel me? Pray about. Make sure that my family covered. Make sure that I'm covered. You feel me? So hey, all that other all that other BS, man, is here today and it's going tomorrow. For real, it's all temporary. You feel me? Even these heathen that you see, man, they gonna get put to death. The Lord is gonna destroy the so-called white man.
Like I said, bro,
you feel me?
Now we beat their ass, or they gonna sit there and be with our women. Eventually, our blood's gonna move fast. You feel me?
Hey, just take one of them flies, brother. You an Israelite?
Black lives matter, bro. You already know what it is.
Israelite lives matter. Let me you say Israelite lives matter.
Israelite lives matter.
Alright, so Lord in Christ. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Malak Yahushai. Kum Yashal! Kum Yashal! Kum Yashal! Kum Yashal! Kum Yashal! Kum Yashal!